All right. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go into this message here. Um, it's funny because yeah, this card here. You know, I don't do um like, and I know this is going to be controversial, but again, it is what it is, and it's on this channel. I feel like for me, the universe is here to serve us, and so everything on this plane is going to be used in order to see, and if it can correlate, and if we can cross-examine, and it has something to do with the biblical text, it is what it is. Again, I see a common relation between the tarot and Torah. And again, even though I don't do readings, I like to use oracle cards as inspiring things or messages, or just to, if I'm sitting and I'm listening and I have a lot going on with, you know, source, the ancestors and guides, then it's kind of like these cards, will lead to a grounding situation. It's kind of like knowing something already and then something else adding to that. Because again, that's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be adding a form of seasoning, but not really, to the way that we're looking at this text. Anyone who is just reading this book as if it is a story, and just because you can remember what chapter and what verse and who said what, and it's not going deeper than that, again, will not, in my eyes, be able to see. And that's also connecting with source, connecting with your being, okay, trying to remain in your higher self, right? And connecting with source that way, okay? Because again, looking at those as descendants or sons of God, or if we look at, certain Bibles will say that, King I am, or James, was the Most High, and his father was God. Okay, so again, that makes him a descendant, which a son just means descendant. Okay, in general, so it could be a female, entity, too, or any other, So again, it's funny because today I just, sat here and I pulled up this card here, and it said judgment. And then I started reading this, and I'm like, judgment. Okay, well, let me go ahead and put the card here. It's trying to tell me what we're looking into right here. So again, excuse me. There are different levels of like a priesthood or messenger type of beings. Okay. And again, it's to each his own. If you don't like it, it is what it is. But I don't dabble in any kind of witchcraft or sorcery or anything like that. I know really nothing about it. I believe that, and I sense when someone is sending that type of energy my way. And sometimes I can even see, like, if we're talking about what type of entity we're talking about. And sometimes I can even see the entity themselves. Again, I guess that comes with being someone who can see in that way. But I think that we are well equipped with certain things. And I think that, as you know, in this text, it got to make sense. It got to make sense because we know that the book has been fondled or dealt with. Okay. And so, it's just a way that it's about using discernment and other tools, wisdom, knowledge gained, your life, that with this, which is within you. And if you are seeking source, and sources, if you are in source and sources in you, then again, he'll find a way. Okay. So again, it doesn't really matter what other people think. Does the message resonate? That's where we're at this point in time in the game. Okay. So it says, dear brothers, I have been talking to you as though you were still just babes or babies in the Christian life. Okay. Now we're reading from the Living Bible today. But I did underline some things that I wanted to cross-reference to show what it looks like, because it's a parallel Bible. So I did want to go ahead and cross-reference some of the stuff that is in the King James and the Living Bible. So just by looking at some of the terms and see what they actually mean. Okay. So, okay. So again, Christian life. All right. And it says, who are not following the Lord. Okay, now this can be a Lord or a Lordess. Okay, but your own desires. I cannot talk to you as I would to healthy Christians who are filled with the Spirit. Okay, so again, that makes me think, like, in general, like, is everybody dealing with the spirit? But then again, I think that there are some that are dealing with the spirit. It said spirit here, but are we talking Holy Spirit, in a sense, right? And I think that it usually excludes men or man. And so you have to wonder what we're really talking about. Are we talking about this as some kind of divine feminine aspect of that's naturally inherited by women? And again, that's why a lot of these times during certain times, these women were rallied up and used or put into psychiatric facilities or used for, again, their womb or for any kind of special qualities. Because again, I mean, worth more than silver and gold, okay, in a sense, right? So again, because without no womb, there is no life, okay? So again, she is the life giver. And he is the one that plants the seed. So again, I think it's funny how we're going to talk about the seed planting in this text this time. So again, it says, I have had to feed you with milk and not with solid food, because you couldn't digest anything stronger. Okay, so again, this is also reminding me of like a Nut and Geb kind of situation, or just like the mother goddess or Hathor feeding milk to the babes, in a sense of like a rebirthing or something of that nature. Yeah, so it says, and even now you still have to be fed on milk, okay? Because again, and even fed on milk is just making me think of like, people having to be fed what they want to hear it the way they want to hear it. Anytime you step outside of that and start speaking on things that someone might be doing, you can start seeing the ignorance and the envy and strife and things come out of people when you mention something that is their personal, and that's why I don't take things too personal, when it comes to things like that. If someone's talking about these particular, when it comes to women, I think right now we are sacred and we are the nourishers and we need to be protected, period, bottom line. Okay. But, let me see. And they know that, but we'll keep it secret, right? So that certain people can have the advantage, is all I'm saying. So again, this does not take down or decrease any type of power or anything of a male. This is just, bringing out the light on the divine feminine aspect of things. Because I think that light has been diminished due to the way that this construct has been formed and working, and making these women feel that they need to be. And that's just it, okay? And not seeing the quality and value, because again, we play an important part in this awakening and in this new way when it comes to nature and source. Now, when it comes to man, that's not always the case, okay? It says, for you are still only baby Christians, okay? And again, let's see. Milk, opaque white fluid secreted by mammary glands of the female mammal. Again, because they're looking at women as, mammals or animals too, because, they're looking at everybody as an animal, because again, in Genesis 1, all that about those animals is talking about groups of people. Whether you want to look at this as a thing that, a symbol that is representing a certain clan or group, or a certain coat of arms, or, ways of looking at chattel or cattle, okay? For me, seems like the same thing. And it says, suited to the nourishment of their young. So again, these are the babes that we're talking about, okay? And again, if we're talking about mammary glands, then this is talking about divine, feminine, or women, period. And the meat represents the part of the male, okay? Or to even plant seed or water, you see? Because we can use seeds, C-E-D-E-S, or seeds, C-E-D, whatever. But we know that